Once it was said, one of the brothers was telling us, one of the sirs, in fact, Swami was asking him, what did they have for lunch? And so he said, Swami, we had gulab jamun for lunch. It's a beautiful sweet. It's one of the most popular sweets. And then Swami said, was it good? He said, Swami, it was beautiful. Because actually Swami had sent the gulab jamuns to the hostel. So obviously they have to be the best. And then Swami said, did it give you happiness? Right? And he said, Swami, it's delicious, absolutely. It was just melting in the mouth. And then Swami said, what is the difference between happiness and bliss? Was it blissful or was it happy? Right? What is the difference between bliss and happiness? Have you ever thought about it? Right? And this sir was telling us that he actually got, an inner kind of revelation. At that moment, he said, Swami, eating that gulab jamun gave me a happy feeling, but talking to you right now is a blissful experience. So what is the difference between bliss and happiness? And then Swami went on to say, that is correct. Swami said, what you're saying is correct. Right? So what does it mean? Right? Anything that gives us pleasure, of course it gives us happiness, no doubt about it. Probably like the beautiful breakfast that we had this morning, the poha, definitely gives us happiness, right? But you see, happiness is that which lasts only that long. If a week later I was to think about the joy that I got from eating the poha, it in fact makes me upset that I don't have that joy today. Correct? So if you've had a beautiful 5-course banquet, right? You think about it a month later or 2 months later, forget the joy. You don't get any joy from it. Actually, it makes you feel sad that you're missing out on that. And that is happiness. However, that event in our lives, which any time we think about, it can only give us happiness again, that is bliss. And that's what happens in our experiences with Swami. Right? We may have had, I was just hearing all the beautiful experiences of the brothers whom I had the privilege of spending some time with. And each of them is like a mountain. It's like a treasure chest of, people coming in the 1960s and in the 1970s. And I'm wondering, what am I doing here in UK, Probably Swami sent me all the way here to listen to these experiences. There are people who have seen Swami in East Africa. The only time Swami stepped out of the country, they have seen him, right? So even after 50 years, 60 years, 70 years, even now when we think of those moments, it still gives us joy. You see, that is bliss. And so while I narrate my instance or how I came to Swami, yes, you can treat it as just another experience. But the better way to benefit from that would be to think about how you got your first experience. It's very important that we do this in our spiritual sadhana. To think about how Swami entered my life, because that is ever fresh. And obviously many times, in the humdrum of our organization activities, unfortunately many times I feel, Swami, did you create this organization to help us or to impede us? Right? Organization in the beginning, it tends to help all of us. When we take our baby steps in spirituality, it's beautiful to be in an organization where you have elder brothers and sisters holding your hand. Eventually, you become an elder in the organization. Okay? And, we will talk about it maybe tomorrow, more about the organization. Right? Today, we'll speak about Swami. Right? So every other time when you feel, that there is something which is hindering our progress, go back to the first time that Swami entered into our lives. It'll always give us bliss.